economy stands today. Shankar Iyer, a third issue that worries people enormously, and particularly the Aam Aadmi, is inflation. It's stubbornly stuck above 7%. But do you believe the repeated claims that one hears from various government officials and ministers that it will come down to acceptable levels come March, although nowhere near 6%? Or have you heard those claims and seen them proven false so often that you're beginning to lose faith in them?
Well, how can you have faith in a claim that has been repeatedly belied? For the last 4 years, the government has been struggling to articulate why inflation is going up. It has failed, leave alone controlling inflation. And the simple fact is in the method of expenditure that has been pushed through since 2009, which is the simple definition of inflation is too much money chasing too few goods. In the UPS case, it is too much money chasing very little outcome. If you look at the UPS finances from 2004, the government borrowings have gone up from 200 crores per day in 2004-05 to 1600 crores per day in 2012. And it would have gone to 1800 crores per day by the time the budget was done if it had not been for the threat of the rating agencies to junkrate India, and if it had not been the assertive presence of P. Chidambaram in the finance ministry, who has stepped in and stemmed the rot.
Okay.
You asked earlier about disappointment about the subsidies. Every statement made in the last 4 budgets has been found to be failed by the government.
Okay.
This government spoke about several commitments. Last year's budget, Pranab Mukherjee's budget, underestimated expenditure by 70,000 crores and overestimated revenues by 40,000 crores. And it's not; these are not my numbers; these are numbers in the Khelkar committee.
Absolutely.
Report. The point that I am saying is that chickens have come home to roost.
All right, some critical areas that are holding up growth. And to what extent is it a question of pushing through stalled reforms to revive investment spirit and to lift what the Prime Minister so often called animal spirits?
We need to visit history, Karan, for a moment. The thesis in India, and this is the thesis of my book, is that change happens and comes only in the wake of a crisis. But the momentum of change is dependent on the force of the crisis. So we had a crisis in 91, we dismantled the license Raj, and once the crisis abated, we forgot everything that needed to be changed. So 20 years after reforms, we are at the bottom half of the ease of doing business rankings. Take any institution and we are at the bottom half.
So are you suggesting things have to reach crisis point before there's a solution?
For every solution in India, we have to wait for things to get worse, for them to get better.
So in other words, you're saying to me also that things will get a lot worse before they get better. Is that the corollary to your argument?
Well, it could get worse if the government doesn't step up. I will give you one instance of the...
No. In which case, let me stop you. What is it that the government needs to do to prevent it getting worse? That's what I'm asking you. Can you tell me quickly, because we're short of time?
We have to look at what is not happening, and what is not happening is clearances. Last January, the Prime Minister held meetings with power companies with 30,000 megawatts waiting for fuel linkage.
Okay.
1 year later, the issue is not resolved. POSCO came to India in 2007. They were supposed to start production in 2011. In 2013, they are still waiting for clearance.